Are you the type of trader that keeps making the same mistake over and over again? And when you look back at your trade, you can see that you keep breaking your rules and you tell yourself it's not going to happen, but then in the moment, you end up doing it and you find yourself pressing buy or sell. In this video, I walk through a set of questions with my client Andrew to examine exactly why that is the case. And then stick around to the end because I give him some specific action steps that will help him minimize those mistakes and those rule breaks and how you can do exactly the same thing as well.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Why do you feel you have to do something? What's the primary thought? What's the primary feeling? What causes you to go, I need to trade today?
I think it's twofold. I think there's one side that's like, I had some winning days and I was like, cool, I'm going to keep winning. and so my mind's like, okay, but there's no entry. Okay, well, let's look at the 5 minute. Maybe there's an entry there. And then I think the other one is if I'm losing and then I'm like, I got to get a winner and I'm not getting an entry. I think those are the two. Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So let's examine that a little bit. Would you say that the emotion, so if we take a pendulum here and we say the top one is the emotion, fear, greed, and over here is the result pendulum, losers, winners. Would you say that if the result is outside of what I would call the optimum? Now, believe it or not, traders think a 10 trade winning run is the optimum. Short term for your P&L it is, but it's not the optimum. The optimum for a trader is really this: winner, loser, winner, loser, winner, winner, loser.
Right.
Now, for a novice trader, it's probably winner, winner, loser, winner, winner, loser, right? You don't want 10 winners on the trot because it will mess with your head in most cases and make you think. You don't want 10 losers on the trot because it will mess with your head. So actually, what sits quite well, especially if you're trading like you, an average R value, and this is where things are, I think, really interesting, is your average R value, if we just look at since the 23rd. So if I entry date sort and I say just from the 23rd, or let's just take this year. So if I look at it there and say, right, well, what are we looking at? We're looking at an average of 4-1, right? So you're winning 4 times what you lose, right?
Right.
So here's the hilarity of it. If anyone should be not worried about whether they win or lose, it should be you. Because when you win 4 times on average what you lost anyway.
I know.
So you should actually be bringing the losers. You should be actually saying, actually, I want more losers. Because weirdly, I want the losers to come because the sooner I get them, because you know your win-loss ratio is under 50%, the quicker I get my losers out the way, the closer I am to my next 4-1 winner. Now, I know not all of them are 4-1. Some of them are smaller. But from an average, some of them are bigger, so you've got to hold on. Because if you have 3 winners on the bounce, that could be 10R, 5R, 6R.
Right.
So 3 winners to you can be the best part of 20R. 3 winners to me on one of my strategies is 6R. 3 winners on one of my other strategies could be 9, 10R. But the thing is here, if you start getting on a winning run, the results pendulum starts to swing into what I call potentially dangerous territory. Now, not for your P&L, but for your emotions. Make sense?
Yeah.
So you're sitting over here. So would you say that when that happens, your greed goes up?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Definitely.
Right. So now my next question is, why do you think that happens? Why does the result of a winning trade make you think you're going to win more or you need to win more when you effing know that you win less than you lose, and that's why your strategy is so good? Do you visualize trading full time? Do you visualize buying a new car? Do you visualize walking out and telling your partner that you've had an amazing trading day? There'll be something that triggers that delusional thought, because you know it's delusional, and it's not even a thought. It's the thought has gone, it's bypassed your thought, and it's now the emotion.
Yeah, I feel like there are days where I'm like, like last week I've had all winners all week, and I was like, well, I'm due for some losers. Like in my head, I knew that I was like, I'm due for some losers, but still, there's something in the back of me like, but you might win. You could keep going. Like let's keep this going, and then that creeps in, and that's the greed, I think. And I don't know what the exact trigger is. I think it's just a matter of like, I think part of it is the prop firm challenge. It's like, I want to pass this challenge so I can have some extra funds. I think that's part of it.
Yeah. So what happens is, this is key.
Yeah.
Is you future pace.
Yep.
All right. This is absolutely critical, because this is what I see over and over again. What happens is you future pace.
Yep.
something that has zero correlation to what is happening with your trading.
Yep, 100%.
So now what we need is an awareness of that.
And sorry, just to piggyback on that,
Yeah.
I can tell you with 100% certainty, the last time that I had won a prop firm challenge and I built up the account to 10,000, I started future pacing and planning my whole life as if I'm going to make that 10,000 every week and and comp like,
yeah.
And then I lost all of that within 3 days.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Now
there's some trauma there.
There's some trauma. Yeah, exactly. So now, where in your life are you rewarded for future pacing?
No, I don't think anywhere.
Have a think.
No.
Have a think.
Um,
Right. When you're doing a set, tell me how future pacing when you're doing a set.
Well, that's different. When it helps out when I'm future pacing because I'm organizing music for the dance floor and what I think is going to work in the future, like in that situation.
So let's look at it like this, right?
Yeah.
So you might have a playlist. You've already future paced a playlist, but you might shift on that playlist depending on what the crowd's liking, how you mix, speed you mix. Makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about. I don't.
Yeah, you do. You know, man.
But right. So
yeah, you're right. 100%.
You're actually,
I put a bunch of things I like in the record bag, but when I get there, it depends kind of on the crowd. It depends on the situation, the room, for sure, definitely.
So you are subconsciously rewarded in multiple areas for future pacing.
Right.
Right. Now with trading, this is key. You have to future pace to be confident enough to place the trade. Right. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is, if you think of all you can do by it's how you future pace. You have to future pace a positive outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't future pace a positive outcome, to some degree, you won't press buy or sell.
Right.
Yeah, you won't hit the button. Because if all you can future pace is this is going to fucking lose, right?
Yeah.
You won't do it, right? But so what happens is, good thing happens, good thing happens, good thing happens. Future pace, more good things could happen. Yeah? Or the opposite occurs, which is bad things happened, bad things happened, bad things happened. Future pace solving this, right?
Right.
The crowd aren't feeling it tonight. I need to shift gears. I need to change the vibe. I need to change the song. So you're rewarded constantly for it not working out, changing the game. If it is working out, let's have more of that. And this is not uncommon. It's just most humans who trade don't think, well, hang on a minute, where am I getting rewarded for the behavior that when it happens in the market, I get trounced. Yeah?
Yep.
Now, that's primarily greed-based because you're more greed-based than fear-based. Okay?
Yeah.
So your thought is always going to be, how can a trade make things better? Right? Whereas a fear-based trader, they're thinking, how is a trade going to make things worse?
Yeah.
So they're right. So you're a greed-based trader, but you're also an optimist, and you're also willing to put yourself under pressure. But the problem is the other thing that happens when you have a run of winning trades is you feel a sense of relief. So it's like, this feels good. This feels great. So I want more of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you can subconsciously think it's my hard work. I've stuck to my rules. And then as soon as we start thinking, I've stuck to my rules, when we seek relief, we switch off. And that's when we're susceptible. So it's catching when you do it. Make sense? You've got a much better trading period here. Mistake, good, mistake, good, mistake, good. Now, the interesting thing here is that has changed from before, where once you got one mistake, it would fire off more. So that is definitely a discipline improvement. It's still from your point of view, like, that's still too many mistakes. Yes, it is, but they're not in clusters.
Thanks, man. Do you have any advice or any tricks that you used to do when you like to just catch yourself to be like, oh, I'm having that feeling again, like where I want to jump into something I shouldn't?
So for me, the trigger, what happened for me was it was all about revenge. It was about revenge trading, but it was very subtle. So what would happen with me is, and this is where you embracing data has been so good, because I only realized this once I looked at the data. So if I had a higher number of losers, right? So in the US morning session, if I had a higher number of losers, and the line in the sand was 2 losers, invariably my trade frequency would be higher in the afternoon. So I was able to note that. So then it was a case of, well, hence me asking you those questions. What was I thinking? What was going on in my mind in that moment? And for me, it was that I wanted to end the day at break even.
Yeah.
So I wanted to feel the relief that I wasn't going into the like all square. That was kind of what was in my head. Let's just get all square, and let's not do anything stupid, but let's all get all square. And what we found is the setup. I would front run. I would get in slightly early before prices hit a moving average, or if the trade lost, but then bounce back with only a tiny stop out, I'd get back in again. So little rule breaks, little mistakes, similar sort of thing. Trading, classic one for me was what I've talked about before, which was, market sideways, bumped high, taking the first pullback, hasn't worked, bumped low, taking the second pullback, nothing wrong with that, but focusing on the fact they're losers. And then when price does this, pulls back into the range, and then pops higher, but it pops higher. So I'm like, well, it's got a higher high. Yeah, but it's still really not higher than the prior range. And then taking that third trade, that losing. And then, before you know it, I've taken 4 trades that day. Yeah. And both technically have got, look, higher high, lower low. Yeah. But they've done that. And then what's happened? Again, this isn't exactly what happened on every scenario.
Got you. Yeah, I get it.
But, what's happened here is price has actually done 3/4 of its daily ATR off the back of the market opening and by the lunchtime period. So I'm trading close to the lunchtime period, trading in all in here, and then price would eventually break out and either didn't pull back, didn't give me what we want, so I felt I'd missed the move, or by that point I'm like, I've gone from greed to fear and I don't take that trade that ends up winning. But what was happening was I was focusing on the fact that those 2 trades lost rather than the fact that those 2 trades were legitimate. So for me, it was always, if I had those 2 losers, not always on the fact, it wouldn't always be that. It could be that price was trending, but it stopped me out and went the way I wanted. If once I'd had 2 losers, it was, for me, it was about, my phrase was step back. So literally in my head, step back, but physically as well, step out of my chair. So then when the price, was getting closer to lunch, I'm like, I'm not sat in my PC with my hand on my mouse.
Yeah.
So I just had that little step back.
Yep.
So you just got to break the pattern rather than not have the thought or feeling. The thought or feeling will come because it's been happening for so long. You just got to go, there it is. Something that can just break the pattern for you.
Nice. Yeah, I got that. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Good.
Yeah, that thing, the acknowledgement, that's a big thing for me. So I'm really trying to focus on that. I've been also meditating and taking a few meditation courses. I mean, I've been meditating for like 10 years, but I'm now trying to get more advanced to that metacognition level where I can notice things before I act on them and be able to change that.
So you turn down the volume of them. You still notice them, but there's an element of detachment between what you're feeling and thinking. You're seeing yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm working on it. I appreciate it, man.
No worries.
Thank you,
man.
Speak
next week. Take care, buddy.
All right. See you, Ollie. Thanks. Ciao.